What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite nerdy podcast where we talk about everything pop culture, but especially sports, comic books, movies, and anime. That podcast being Comic
X Weaver! Ha! Ha! Ha!
I'm your co-host, James, aka Comics for Cheap, aka hashtag Send It to James, aka I'm kicking off Pride Month a little early with the Mike's Hard Lemonade. And I got my co-host here with me.
I don't even know what to say on that one. Oh, boy, it's your boy Chris, aka Dino. Hit me with the music.
Boom. Da, 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 da.
Telling you, man, it gets better and better every time. Black Santa, revere me.
Revere.
Acknowledge me. It's AKA. I ain't gonna say that on live. So, we're gonna have a different. I think Dino might know what I might have been hitting at, but we're gonna have a different AKA. So instead, we're gonna rewind a little bit. We're gonna AKA. Man, dumb boys down in Dallas better make sure that game don't become a game 7. Don't let it become a game 7. Better finish it at 5. AKA Super.
Yeah.
Code.
Okay.
What? Water. Sponsored by nobody, because we still don't got no gosh diggity down sponsors. But it is the summertime. So, you never know who might be hitting us up, telling us, hey, we need to sponsor this. Seriously, Manscaped, they really going to be hitting us up sooner than you think. Because, I mean, it's hot and stuff. People going to need, we're going to be getting some sponsors soon. But until then, we are unsullied since 2021.
That's right. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate y'all. Drop a comment either live or on the replay. We always get to you. We always respond. So join the conversation. We're here to have lots of fun. Like I said, we talk about sports, comic books, movies, anime, all that kind of good stuff. We have a whole list of things to talk about today, but we always kick it off with some sports. So Black Santa is going to kick us off today with what's going on in the NBA. What's going on?
Man, so the Boston Celtics completely swept the Indiana Pacers, which was not really a shocker. Yeah,
that was crazy.
Wasn't a shocker. The Knicks, if the Knicks was healthy, it would have been such a better matchup. But unfortunately, the Knicks, they just couldn't hang anymore. They was too many injuries put them boys down. And Indiana, hey, they didn't even have the best time themselves because their best player ended up getting hurt. And honestly, even if he was there, it really didn't matter. They was gonna lose. They was gonna get embarrassed anyway. So, the Boston Celtics, again, as much as it hates my soul to say, the Boston Celtics are in the NBA Finals. And, man, it's going to be hard to beat them. But on the Western Conference side, Minnesota, the team that beat the defending champs, the team that I thought was going to win the whole thing, the Denver Nuggets. No. Minnesota said, y'all going home. We the new one. We taking over. Well, they end up going and getting their butts whooped. They were down 3-0. So they got whooped everywhere. They got whooped at home. They got whooped on the road. They was in trouble. And it looked like for the first time in NBA history, we was going to get a sweep on both the Eastern Conference side and the Western Conference side.
Right.
But then something happened. Kyrie did not have a good game. He played pretty bad. Karl Anthony Towns had a good game on the offensive side, and he played very well. And, Anthony Edwards, he played great himself. Almost effed around and got a triple-double. He had 29, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. And them boys end up still in the game. Because, again, if Kyrie would have even just equaled out in Dallas would have swept them, but didn't happen. So they end up getting the game, and now it's a 3-1 series. And now,
Was that in Dallas or was that at home for them?
That was in Dallas. So
Okay,
now
all
they're
right,
going back to Minnesota now.
gotcha. So they might have a chance to win at home, get a second
Yeah.
one, start putting the pressure on them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And I do feel if this series goes to 7, I think we're gonna have for the first time ever a team come back from a 3-0 lead in NBA history. Obviously, it happened in baseball, and of course, the first time it happened, it had to be the Red Sox doing it to my Yankees. But we ain't.
Wait, are you talking about first time in the conference finals that this has happened,
In the playoffs in general,
or the playoffs in general?
A 3-0 lead usually means the series is over. But
Right, right.
in the NBA, no one has ever came back from that, and it's
That's
gonna
crazy.
happen one day. It's gonna happen one day.
Yeah,
And
for
this
sure.
could be the day. If it goes to 7, I'm putting my money on Minnesota winning this series. Like they're gonna end up doing it. But I don't trust Karl Anthony Towns having 3 more straight games of him playing that good. Like he's a guy who's gonna choke. He is no way.
If you're feeling it though, if you get in the zone.
Yeah, that's true. And honestly, Anthony Edwards has been like the perfect thing for Cat because he was the face of Minnesota before Anthony showed up and became the guy. And the biggest issue was Cat doesn't have that heart to be the face of a franchise. Like he has the talent. Do not get it twisted. This is a big man who can shoot the 3, who can defend very well, can shoot anywhere on the court. And if he was to be, inside the paint, he can make some noise. Like this dude is so talented, but his mental part of it is not there. He's not a guy you ever want to be. He can't be the best player on your team if you're trying to win a championship. He just doesn't have the mental aspect of it.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Cat does, and Cat has the skill. So when you have that, because people was comparing this dude to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and I was telling people, I was telling my employees, one of my guys, shout out to my homie Terrence, but he was sitting there saying that, this dude got that Michael Jordan in him, that Kobe Bryant. I'm like, no. He's 22 years old. Let's give him some time. Let's wait and see what he develops into. But let's not do the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant thing yet.
Yeah, right.
Let's not do that. Not off the bat. Because even in this series, he did some real bad things that I didn't like. In the sense of he admitted that he was tired, which 1, you never admit that out loud. 2, why are you tired? Like you're not playing back to back. You're 22.
You ain't tired, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you tired? You ain't tired. And then it got so bad. One of the games they had to give this man a mask and stuff so he can get some air put into him. He need an oxygen mask. I was like, what is going on here? What is going on? So that right there, garbage. But the dude is an amazing player and has that. I've said it before up here. He has the potential to be the face of the NBA. But we have to give him time to develop. He's 22. This dude, he's so young and still this talented. Imagine 2-3 more years from now, he keep on this projective. This dude's gonna be unbelievable. He's even better.
Right.
Give them time though, and heck, even this year, if they end up coming back from this 3-0 lead and they end up winning, unfortunately, I'm gonna say they are gonna end up being super tired walking in there going against Boston. But give them some time. Let's see how it goes. But the point is, it's been very interesting, and these playoffs have been something else, and I've really been enjoying them. It's sad they're coming to an end pretty soon, but they've been pretty fun.
Yeah, it is always. But you know what? We are only 14 weeks away or 14 and a half weeks away from football starting, week 1 of football, and even less before the preseason. So honestly, like these will stop. We'll have a little bit of a lull, and then basically football kicks on for us right after that. And then honestly, I mean, hockey's back in September, October. So it's not like we even have to wait too long for that. And NBA starts around the same time too. So so there you go. So Philly Phil in the house. What's up, Phil? He says, who you got tonight, Edmonton or Dallas? Here's the thing. Edmonton plays the first period so well, and then they just disappear. It's like they're a completely different team. And that's what the Rangers have been doing in this series so far with the Panthers as well. It's like they show up in the first period. Everything's going great. Their stars are connecting. McDavid on the Oilers is putting up points. doing magical things. It's like, oh
Okay.
my gosh, this might be the game where they actually get it together. And then they go in the locker room, and I guess their coaches are like, "Yeah, good job, guys. We're doing it. We're so good." And then on the other side, in the other locker room, their coach is lighting a fire under the players' ass, like, "Y'all motherfuckers better get out there and get it fucking done, or
Get
I'm
it
gonna
done.
beat every one of your wives and children's,
Oh
and
my
you're
God.
not gonna have nothing to go home to." That's what they're saying in the locker room. That's why I swear. Because then when they come back out in the second period, right, Dallas has
Yeah.
been just absolutely smoking Edmonton. The
Yeah.
Panthers have been absolutely dominating the Rangers.
Don't want their
Even
kids to get
though the score doesn't reflect that, thanks to the god-like human Igor Shesterkin and goalie. I think honestly, I think Dallas is just going to continue winning tonight. So Phil, I think Dallas has it. They're going to go up 3-1, and it's pretty much going to be it's going to be over for Edmonton as usual. They cannot get it done in the playoffs. The Stars are just not the Dallas Stars. I'm saying like the Stars on Edmonton just are not getting it done. And the Stars on the Rangers right now.
Children not getting beat enough.
Yeah, the coach is too soft.
Okay, I got you.
And then the Stars on the Rangers are also not putting up any numbers. The first line on the Rangers not doing anything. They're not putting up any points. They're relying on their third and fourth lines, their depth, their bench to come forward and score points. And this happened last year and the year before. These players, Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin on the Rangers, put up record numbers this year in the regular season and then disappeared in the playoffs.
That's the worst thing right there.
I hate it. I can't stand it, dude.
Yeah.
Like it drives me crazy to to watch them. It's like they're a completely different player. It's like they forgot how to fucking play the sport. Phil, honestly, I'm a Rangers fan, so I'm rooting for the Rangers. Yep. It's gonna come down to lucky bounces. Honestly, I can't even tell you who's gonna win. It's gonna come down to a lucky bounce here, a lucky bounce there. If the ref decides to call a penalty here or there for the power play, that's honestly what it's gonna come down. And that sucks to say. That is gonna come down to that. Because honestly, when I was watching the early, when the Rangers swept the Islanders, I was like, damn, if they beat Carolina, no one can stop them. And now they beat Carolina, but Carolina had that little they were coming back a little bit, and then I was like, oh man, I don't know, they're getting shaky. And now watching them in the first couple of games with the Panthers, I'm like, the Panthers could beat them, they could.
What's the series at now?
Right now it's tied 2-2. 2 games, 2 games. They've both won, one at home and one on the road. So it's not like 2 games at home to 2 games at home. They've both are proven able to win in both arenas. It's
definitely a series, because in the NBA, that's always the thing. A series don't start to the home team loses a game to that home team that other team gets that one on the road. So yeah, it's a series.
Well, 3 out of the 4 games in this series have gone to overtime as well. So it's been very close as far as the score goes. The Panthers have been dominant throughout the series. Like I said, even though the score doesn't necessarily reflect that, Igor Shesterkin, the Rangers goalie, has just been absolutely a god amongst men as far as goalies go. It's ridiculous. But on the other side, Bobrovsky, who was the main reason that the Panthers made it to the Stanley Cup last year, he is also he kicks it to another level in the playoffs. So he's the opposite of what I was talking about with the Rangers first line. He plays mid during the regular season. You know what I mean? He's not outstanding numbers by any means, but then the playoffs start and all of a sudden it's like a switch turns on and he becomes a brick wall. It's ridiculous. So there is that too. Phil says, how many times have I watched Anakin versus the Younglings today? Only 30. It's a low day today. Okay.
Only 30 times. Just rerunning the part when that lightsaber goes off, but it's just time.
Master Annie, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, what's about to happen. At least the kid knew. He knew. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna die today."
That's right. Phil says, yeah, the goaltending has been gangster in that series so far. Absolutely. I mean, it's just been a battle of the goalies more than
Nice.
anything else. And you know, there have been a lot of dirty hits on both sides. I can't lie. It's just getting nastier and nastier as the series progresses. So I'm sure that tomorrow night that it's just going to be fights on fights, especially at MSG.
Right.
So we're gonna see what happens.
Oh man, Madison Square Garden is just the best. It really is.
Yeah, I wish it didn't cost like $500 just to enter the building for anything, but you know, especially for the playoffs, it's like they talk about like $1,000 tickets
Yep.
to get in. It's ridiculous. It's crazy,
Yep.
but
It is.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
Every
it
time
is.
they zoom in on some kids, I'm like, damn, your dad paid $1,000 for you to sit there.
You better enjoy it. Soak up the
That's what I'm
situation.
saying.
You
You
understand
don't
what your
even know.
sacrifice for. You don't even know.
You
Oh
don't
my
even
god.
know.
Yo, it's
Oh
funny.
Lord.
Just super quick though. It's really funny. One, that goalie you was talking about, he kind of like steps it up. He kind of sounds like Jimmy Butler a little bit because you know Jimmy in the regular season, his numbers aren't anything super crazy. They're good, but they're not like, oh my god, this is insane. But then when the playoffs hit, you get playoff Jimmy. You know, this man, because they say man becomes Michael Jordan's true son, and this dude just starts going off and having these crazy runs. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. His runs to the NBA Finals has been like the most impressive, definitely since Allen Iverson brought those outside of Matembe Mutombo. There was a bunch of bums on that squad, and he got them to the NBA Finals. And again, when I say bums, I'm talking about like NBA aspect. Obviously, any one of those players, even a dude that don't play, will destroy me and any of us out on the streets in a game of basketball. I'm talking about NBA wise.
Oh, of
I ain't
course.
really mean that bums. People gotta understand what I mean. But he got into the finals, and then Jimmy Butler, the way he got these Miami Heat teams to the finals, I mean, it was unbelievable. But it kind of sounds like that a little bit.
It is very much like that. Yes. So I'm not saying that there aren't talented players on the Panthers. Obviously, there
Of course.
are.
Yeah, they're the best of the best of hockey, of course.
Right. So, and I mean, as far as their team goes, they have depth as well. They're excellent at 5-on-5. They don't need a power play to score, which is what makes them so dangerous. But it's just that elite goaltending from Bobrovsky when the playoffs start that just kicks them into another gear and makes them so hard to beat. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it could go either way as far as who wins that series if the Rangers decide to wake up and actually play some hockey instead of just watching the Panthers play hockey. They could have a chance to win it. If not, then they're going to lose it. I mean, that's just how it is. Phil says, I would love to welcome playoff hockey back to Hockey Town. Yeah, man, I think that would be awesome. I really want to, he's from Detroit, so I really want to get up to Detroit for the next season. There's a couple people in our group chat that are from Detroit, and I was like, we all need to go to a game, to a Red Wings game. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Plus, since the Red Wings haven't been good in a little while, it'd probably be pretty cheap for us all to go to a Red Wings game. so we could go have some fun on the cheap, you know, enjoy it. And he says, happy birthday to Lethal's thumb. He's another guy in our group chat that is from Detroit. So yeah, his thumb is now like 22 or something like that. 23. I don't know.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Steve. Nice.
Oh goodness. All right. We got anything else sports wise, or we're moving on?
Just the last little quick thing that was interesting is Josh Allen was talking about the Super Bowl a bust for them. That they need to win.
What? With what team?
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh, okay.
At first,
but who's on the Bills now? Because everyone's leaving.
Yeah, I know. They didn't really upgrade at all. So at first, when I heard that was kind of my mindset. But then I was like, you know what? I actually do like what he said, because when you're a quarterback at the level that he's been at, you've been arguably looked at as the second best overall quarterback or third best or whatever. You're in the top 3, top 5 at least in the league.
I'd say top 5 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You should have the mindset. Your team has been to the playoffs like 5 years in a row. You should have the mindset that at this point, if we're not winning the Super Bowl, it is a bust. So he is right on that aspect. And he wasn't like being arrogant. He would just be. I have no problem with what he was saying. It's fine. It's just I also feel that he and the coach may feel that way. But if the team was to win like 13 games, that'd be insane. But if they was somehow win 13 games, right, and win a playoff game and then lose to the Chiefs like always in the second round or something, I feel like the organization as a whole would be feeling good about themselves. But if you're a fan base, you're going to be feeling like very angry and like we're never going to win. And like Josh Allen's probably going to get frustrated to that point too. But I don't know if the organization looks at it that way. I just don't know. They blew that team up, which I said did not say was going to happen. No, I said if they lose, that team's going to make
last
some changes.
year.
And
You
what
said
happened?
last year if Josh Allen didn't actually get to make it happen, well, I think what you actually said was it's over for Josh Allen.
Yeah, as him being that bad it was over. Bad motherfucker. Yeah. It was over. And I also said that team would get blown up. Right? I said it up here. That team would get blown up. What happened? They blew that team up.
Yeah. So Diggs to Houston is going to be crazy to watch this year. There were several other key players
that had tons of key defensive players. Like that team got blown up.
Offensive line. I mean, it's going to be a brand new team this year. And if they're going to be in the middle of a rebuilding while Josh Allen is in the middle of his career, you can either expect Josh Allen to not do anything again. Like, as much as good as he is and as much as he's going to try, they're going to miss the playoffs. Or two, Josh Allen's going to request a trade. He's going to get fed up and be like, get me the fuck out of here.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then that's going to be it. So it'll be interesting to see this year what they do. As far as if they try to make any moves for certain players, especially like through the preseason. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, they didn't do anything significant in the draft. No, stop. Please. If the Bills pick up Antonio Brown, oh my God. No, it can't happen.
That's not happening. No, that's not happening. I'll be shocked
for him to take this time when he runs off the field, he's not stopping at just the jersey, he's taking the pants off too.
He's taking the pants off too. There you go. I would be beyond shocked to see that man play in the NFL ever again. So yeah.
Hey, Vinyl Dragon's in the house. What's up, buddy? He says, how is everyone? We got to make sure to watch out for each other. Nothing but thugs in the pen and the streets these days.
I mean, hey, man, me and Dino understands. We came from the mean streets of PetSmart, so we know fully what can happen out there.
We was brought up by the mean streets of the smart.
That's right. The smart raised us. It truly embraced us into the shadows. I mean, we was talking like shit at one point. I mean, we knew how I was, man. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's move on. I think you had some anime stuff you wanted to talk about last week, so let's jump into that.
All right, yeah, let's jump into that. So we had that next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, and we end up finding out that, at least it's heavily they pretty much said it in this chapter that Gojo is still dead, but not. So he is back, but it seemed to be another person controlling the body, but Gojo's consciousness is still in the body, so he could eventually take it back over. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, but either way, the main big bad is just like, oh crap, I got to deal with this fool again. So he's freaking out, and they go into this cool little backstory, basically saying that the guy who took over the body, it's a few outcomes that's going to happen. He's either going to take full control over the body, and that's going to be his new body because his body end up being like basically destroyed by the main big bad. So he's either going to take this body over, or the other two outcomes, he's going to die within 5 minutes, or he's going to die pretty much like a day or so after this situation happens. So he's either going to die or he's going to fully take over the body.
Okay.
And if he ends up dying within 5 minutes, it's just because he just couldn't handle it. The other option would be Gojo basically takes over the body again. His consciousness takes over, and he basically gets revived pretty much. And then the other guy just dies. So it's it's heating up. It's getting very interesting. So I'm really enjoying it. I want to see, wait obviously to more that fully goes into it. Then I'll really start dropping names, but I truly want to get more into what's going on. But Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm really liking it. It's an interesting way of doing things. And the thing I always liked about Jujutsu Kaisen, for me, a guy who's always grown up, the Dragon Ball aspect and all that stuff, in Dragon Ball, when big fights happen, usually everybody's standing around and they're watching the main two combatants go at each other. Like if it's like a Goku versus Frieza, you got, everybody watching what's Goku going to do. Is if Goku loses, we all die or whatever.
Right.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, they just jump the dude. Like, they don't even play that. We'll go one at a time. They're like, no, we're just going to jump you. Like, everybody just jumps in. It's not even a thing of like, we're going to act. No, they just straight up jump whoever the villain is. And they just like, we're just going to kill him. Like, we're not even playing that anime trope of standing around watching with our arms folded, just like, we'll see what happens. Like, no.
Right.
No, we're going to kill you.
Dang.
We don't fight fair.
That's intense. Yeah, that's not fair. But you know what? That's how you win. You don't fight fair. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I mean, hey, that is what they say, isn't it? So I mean, they take that fully. What Dragon saying here?
Vinyl says, bro, you all are the original thugs slinging tiger barbfish and tarantulas at the smart. That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, I never had to do a tarantula. I think I did everything else. The worst ones, honestly, I wouldn't even mind a tarantula because you just put the thing like under and let it crawl in, so you just kind of
because I did a tarantula. Yep.
The worst ones were the birds, dude.
Oh my god, I did a bird one time. That made me so angry, and I never did it again. Yeah.
Catching a fucking bird was the biggest pain in the ass. Anything else is just like, okay, whatever. People who wanted specific fish were very annoying. Like, oh, I want that one, not that one. And so like you had to wait for that one to go into your net or whatever. But birds, dude, you would have to fucking catch them mid-flight. And then they would more than likely, I'd say 9 times out of 10, they're gonna bite the shit out of your hands and fingers while you're trying to put them into the box. I was like, God, I could not stand to a bird.
Dude, I kid you not. The one time I did a bird and that motherfucker tried to bite my finger, I looked him dead now and I said, if you bite me, I'm going to bite you back. And guess what? His punk ass calmed down.
And guess what? Black Santa started singing some Ozzy Osbourne.
I would have bit that bird right in front of the customer and said, here's your bird. Like, it bit me first. We ain't playing that game. We ain't playing that.
He started playing Crazy Train. He bit the head right off that goddamn bird. I swear to God, I seen it.
You seen it. You seen it. You know what can go down. Shit. But no, like I said, overall though, I'm really enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen's chapters. It's been really fun. I'm really excited and hoping that Bleach will come back sooner than later. We're still waiting to get an idea of when it's actually going to be coming back. Me and Charles were actually talking about that yesterday.
I was gonna say we watched the trailer for it like forever ago. So
it did come back last year and all that stuff, and it ended earlier. But we're waiting this year to see when is it. Is season 3 coming out? Season 2 did happen. It was great. Season 2 was everything we wanted it to be. It was awesome. Had a great ending. It was amazing. The Zero Squad, which got completely jobbed out in the manga. I mean, the Zero Squad was supposed to be like the strongest. So they basically said one member, like the Zero Squad, was stronger than the whole Gote 13 combined. So they were supposed to be the strongest Shinigamis, the top-notch ones. In the manga, one dude had a fight. He basically killed all the villains except for the main villain. The main villain revived all the people that he killed. Yuha revived all his guys, and then they just completely just washed the Zero Squad off camera pretty much. Next thing you know, you just showed them dudes all dead. And it was like, really? This is the best? Really? These guys suck. So it was like, that was disappointing. In the anime, that didn't happen. We actually saw one of the Zero Squad members use her Bankai, which is basically their transformation. Because Bankai means release in English, basically. So it's like them releasing their power. So, and her shit was amazing. It was cool as hell. It did a great job. People got confused, though, because what they thought that a lot of people, even some people at my job, they thought that she killed those guys. Where I interpret how her Bankai works is, and I'm very confident I'm completely correct. I'm pretty sure. Her Bankai works where it's telling how they're going to die. Because each one of the way they quote unquote was killed showed exactly how they kind of died. It hinted at what happened to them in the manga, when how each one of the villains died in their respective fights in the manga eventually. It showed how that would basically happen. It had little hints at each one of their deaths in her Bankai of what's going to happen in the future when they actually have their real fights. So I don't think she killed any of them. It's basically just showing, hey, this is what's going to happen when they actually fight.
Gotcha.
And I think that's really cool. The foreshadowing is amazing.
Yeah.
And like her power was actually shown to be something else, because she was like not just like her reishi can be felt like in Soul Society. It was even messing up like Earth and everything. So you're messing with like, you know, the heavens and Earth and all this stuff. Like that was a really cool moment. It showed how powerful these characters are supposed to be. So, you know, it's been really good. And Kubo came out, the guy who created Bleach, he came out and said that, hey, like the anime is basically what should be looked at as the one true continuity, because he was rushed when he did the manga. And I've said that up here before. He was rushed. And now he's able to fully spread his wings and say everything he wants to do. So,
And it's interesting because usually, isn't it the other way around usually?
A lot of times it is the other way around. The manga is usually looked at as the main continuity because the manga happens first. And then the writer usually don't have that much say into what happens in the anime. It's usually somebody else who's in charge of that. And it's usually like, well, a lot of times it's like, well, you can kind of take whichever one you want to, but the true Bible is basically the manga. But how Dragon Ball does it, definitely when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, you can literally pick either one, because the manga and the anime had they had the same outcome in the grand scheme of things, but the way it happened was totally different. Like Trunks, for example, in his arc in Super, he got a new transformation. He was way more of a combat type fighter. In the manga, he was more of like a healer, and like he was trained by the Supreme Kaz on like different healing techniques and all this other stuff. And like he never got that transformation. So and like Toriyama, before he passed away, RIP of course, he flat out was like, yeah, whichever one you look at, you can literally say is your continuity. It doesn't matter. It's the same outcome. It's just literally two different ways. They're both literally equal. None more over than the other one. Like even when Gohan in the Tournament of Power, in the anime, he never even fights Califa, but in the manga, he's the one who eliminates her. They both eliminate each other, basically. In the anime, that's not how that happens. She gets the most epic elimination when Goku puts her down. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, Final Dragon just commented. He said, Black Santa, are you filming right now with the dark setting on the set of the new Ring? I was gonna say, before we transferred over to comic book news, you had to turn a light on or something, because I felt like I only saw the white strip on the hat. I was like, damn, he's just fading into the blackness. He's becoming
it got dark so quick. Like,
I know.
You saw earlier when we started, it was all light and stuff, and then in seconds, I was just like, why is it so dark out there? What is going on? Is someone making a wish with the Dragon Balls? What's
Oh Lord. Okay, anything else anime wise before we jump into
No, that'll be it for now. We can transition.
All right, let's jump in. We got let's kick it off with this one. So I think this is going to be interesting. Juan Carlo Esposito, who is in The Boys. He played the villain in Breaking Bad. He's many different roles where he's usually more of like a villain type character. But he has officially been cast in the MCU. And he says that you will not predict the character that I am being cast as. However, it will be teased at and then will eventually get its own series with Marvel. So, with that being said, let's try to fucking predict what this guy is being cast as.
Okay.
So, originally, when he was in talks with Marvel, a lot of people were saying that he should be Professor X. Obviously, if he's saying we will not predict it, he's only going to be hinted at, and then he's going to get his own series. Doesn't sound like it's going to be Professor X, unless he's completely trying to throw us off the trail.
What's funny about it, though, it could be a Professor X, though, because you easily could do a Professor X series. It wouldn't be
Easily,
like
yes.
completely his own, and Magneto's going to play a big role in it. But you could
Right.
do a dope series where it's dealing with his past.
Final Dragon says Hypno Hustler.
Don't worry, I was thinking the same thing, bro. That was my first thought. Was Hypno Hustler. I'm not even lying. I'm 100% like, oh shit, it's Hypno Hustler, bro. Let's go. It's my time. Strongest character in all the MCU. Let's go. Dude's so OP.
I think Esposito has enough sense not to be cast as Hypno Hustler.
Yeah, because he can't take the role of that. That's too much pressure. To be Hypno Hustler, bro, that is too much pressure. You guys like, oh
You're
my
right.
god, yeah, I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
You're right. I don't know if he's got the chops.
Nah, I don't think he got the chops.
Hypno Hustler.
No, not
Lord.
at all.
Yeah,
But
honestly, I don't know.
It could be another X-Men, right? It could be another mutant.
I guess it could be in the mutants type family, or it could be something completely out of left field, like he's trying to say, and it could be, could be anyone. I honestly, I have no idea. When I was reading that, and I was thinking, like, who could he possibly be? That like would only be hinted at, and then have his own series. My first thought was that he's just gonna do a villain again, because that's kind of what he's known for. It's what he's good at. And so maybe he's just kind of be typecast into a villain role. But then I was like, does Marvel really do villain series? And then I was like, well, they've done Loki. They did Loki. They're doing
Loki. But think about it, though, he was already at the point, even though this was the past version of him, but at the point he was already a hero, pretty much. He was already, if you only want to go to it, an anti-hero. Like, he was not a villain anymore. And then this whole series, you can tell he was going to be, it was going to end with him being a hero again.
Vinyl says it's rumored to be El Tarantula. I don't know about that, dude. I think he's a little old for that.
I don't want to see no damn series of that neither. So
yeah, I really don't want to see the Tarantula series.
Nah, I think I'll be all right.
What if it's like him at PetSmart trying to catch a tarantula? He gets bit by the tarantula, and that's how they become.
We just gotta tell the people out here we're gonna be in the MCU. You know,
yeah,
break
damn right.
This is all foreshadowing of what's gonna happen. You know? Our stories have meanings behind them. People just understand that. Just know
that. Oh Lord. Yeah. Honestly, I really don't know. I couldn't even take a like random, like if I threw a dartboard or a dart at the board up here of random Marvel characters, I guess it could be any of them. I don't know.
It really could be, and that's exactly what the Marvel team does nowadays. They follow the DCU aspect of it, where they just throw darts at a board and see what happens. That's definitely what Sony does all the time when they're making their superhero movie.
What Sony does.
That's what they do. So I'm with you. That's the thing. Marvel has so many heroes, and even again, I'm with you. I don't think it'll be a villain getting his own series. They've never done that really. So
yeah, I don't think so.
Yes, I can't. I don't know. It's, and then I'm trying to think of like the heroes they might use, and I'm just like, I don't know. And Marvel's so weird. You never know who they might think would be like, this can work for a series.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. No, he got one there. I don't know.
Yeah. With such a high profile actor, and obviously with the Marvel sleuths, I'm sure we're going to hear more whispers and rumors moving forward. Now that we got this little bit of news, so I'm sure it will not remain a secret for long, unless they really, really try to do that. Vinyl says, "What if he is the living tribunal?" Would I want a living tribunal show though?
That's what I'm saying, because I look at that and I'm just like, as legitly as how powerful they are, what interest would that really be? I guess going to different worlds and somewhat judging, but then again, is the series about that person?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't.
What if he's the casting replacement for Kang?
Oh my goodness, yo! That would be fucking hilarious, though. Seriously, that would be so funny. Oh my god! Part of me kind of wants that to happen now.
That would be really funny if he's like, "Who's your daddy now?"
Who's your daddy now? That's right. And the thing is, the way Kang work, you can easily have like a anti-villain version of him, and it's fine. It works. It don't have to be an evil one. It works perfectly. So that would be funny enough.
Like, Kang, I think you shrunk about a foot. Nah, it's just a different multiverse version
That's
of me.
exactly different multiverse, bro. I was
Yeah.
taller than some of the other ones. You can even
In
make
this-
that joke and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, in this multiverse, I drank a lot of coffee, smoked a lot of cigarettes. You know, stunts in my growth when I was very young.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, man. Oh, God, that's great. That is
Oh
great.
shit. All right, we have this was actually pretty funny. Anthony Starr was talking about what would happen if like Homelander went up against Superman, and Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, he was like, "Oh, it's Homelander without a doubt." He's like, because Superman is such a goody boy, where he'd be trying to save, innocent bystanders and like, whatever. And
Mhm.
he's like, I could just use children as a human shield and
Mm.
attack Superman. And he's like, there's no way. He say something like, I could throw baby after baby at Superman to distract him. And I would win.
Here's the thing about that, and you know what? Obviously, he's having fun. He's having some fun, and
Yeah,
it's tongue in cheek. But let's take this in the serious aspect of it. If they was to actually go 1-on-1, oh, who we got? What we got?
What's up, Cam? How you doing, bud?
Good to see you, bro. Let's get serious here. As I take a sip of my water real quick.
Okay, let's get serious about this fictional fight.
Yeah. James. Superman would crush this dude. Like, I honestly don't even think he would be able to hurt Superman in an actual fight.
Okay.
Like, I think his punches was just he would hurt his own hand. Like, none of his feats whatsoever would be anything compared to like a Superman feat. And even if he was, I don't think he's even quick enough. Like, if he's throwing the babies, I think Superman is quick enough to literally catch everything he throws before he has a chance to do anything, and then take this dude out legitly before anything even pops off.
They
Like,
definitely don't really display Homelander's speed during fights as much. I think maybe in the last season they started doing it a little bit, especially when it was like him versus Butcher. But really the only time that they showcase his speed is when he's like taking off or flying in general. They know his speed in fights, he doesn't really rely on that. So I think you are correct there. I don't think he pushes himself to as far as speed. Superman would definitely outpace him.
Even with the strength aspect, even though it was extremely more realistic in a lot of ways when he was in the situation with the plane, but he wasn't even really for sure if he can stop it. He's like, yeah, like worst case is going to break apart while he's trying to. But like, obviously, Superman would have no issues doing that with one hand.
That's true.
So I'm just like, on that aspect of things, it's just like, you're not going to be able to, like, he can't. And it's just like when people was like, well, what happens if he goes against Omni-Man? He'll get crushed.
Oh, Omni-Man.
Like, it's not a fight whatsoever. And I don't think Omni-Man is stronger than Superman. But I definitely think he's 100% stronger than freaking Homelander. And
okay, so I just finished. Speaking of Omni-Man, like I'm pretty excited about this. So I just finished the first whatever they call it, the omnibus, the first big trade of Invincible, and I have my own theories of what's going to happen going forward. Because basically, the first omnibus or superbook or whatever is like caught up to where we're at now in the show,
right?
And so I'm sitting here thinking, I know you've read the whole thing, so please don't confirm or deny or anything, but just my speculation is that Omni-Man, even for the Viltrumites, is like god tier level amongst the Viltrumites. It like there's something that sets him apart from even the strongest of them. It's just what I'm thinking. Well, like just kind of what I'm thinking, and that's why Mark is like so able to do what he does as well. It's just like he's got a little bit of that in him as well. And why he's able to hang with, because I mean they've taken even up to this point, even if you're only just caught up with the show and you haven't read the book, they've taken on several sets of Viltrumites and live to tell the tale. That doesn't usually happen, especially if you're looking at, you know, how they treat each other, or, you know, anyone that they deem to be inferior to their kind.
And remember, the older you get, the stronger you're supposed to become, right? And this dude
Right.
is taking on like literally old fighters and like
Old fighters, and Mark is taking
ass.
on old fight, like not taking them on, but taking punches and like
Open
living
ass
to
too.
tell the tale. And
Remember,
even
he
when
would have killed old girl if he really wanted to.
yeah,
He didn't
and
want
even against his dad, when the original fight, when Omni-Man was like, oh well, fuck you, I'm just gonna kill you then and start over, and Mark still survived that.
right. Now, to be fair, Omni-Man didn't want to kill his son now.
Well,
Because he really could have if he really wanted to.
He didn't go for that final blow when Mark was like, "I'll still have you." Right? Yeah, I'm with you there. But he held on pretty fucking right up to that point.
Yeah, he was still holding back. He was definitely still holding back for
Yeah.
sure. But no, I'm with you 100%. He withstood an extreme beating that no one else would have.
Vinyl says, "What if Juan Carlo was Doctor Doom?" I think that would be dope, but I think that would be really dope. Actually, I'd be down with that. I'd be down. Yeah, I'd be down with Esposito being Doctor Doom, especially if the Fantastic Four movie is going with Galactus and Silver Surfer and not Doom. And then, like, if he's hinted at in Fantastic Four and then he gets his own series, I think that would be fantastic. I think that's a great idea.
Will say this, Dow. I'm not even going to front, though. If he's just hinted at in the Fantastic Four, I'm going to say that's a terrible business decision. How is the main villain of the damn series hinted at in the actual fucking movie of the first one for the MCU, and you don't have the main villain of the team not be in it? He is hinted at. I would have a huge problem. I would blow the fuck up. No matter what, I don't care what the movie does. I will not like the movie if that happens. I don't care what.
I already feel like we're not gonna like the movie. They're kicking it off with Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the movie's gonna suck anyway. I'm just saying, no matter what happens, if you don't have Doctor Doom in the movie,
yes, thank you.
The main villain, who when they got their powers and everything happened, he got his too. How do you not have him in the movie? I would flip out. I'm not even gonna fry. I might walk out the theater.
Yeah, I don't know. Cam says he can't wait for me to find out. I assume talking about Omni-Man and Invincible. So yes, I am excited. I am going to be starting the second compendium. Thank you for giving me the word because it was slipping out of my brain. So I will be starting the second compendium this weekend, and I'm excited to do that. And Cam also says in reference to Dr. Doom, because they've already done it and they want to set him up for long term. Which would make sense. It would make sense for Dr. Doom to be more of a long-term villain. Galactus is one of those like
you can say they already, like you said, they've already did the hint. So the payoff would be him showing up in the Fantastic Four. He can't sit out that too. That makes no sense to me as a business decision. The actual main villain of the Fantastic Four, the main counterpart to Reed, does not show up in the movie where the Fantastic Four is supposed to be making their grand debut, and we see I would flip.
Cam says Conquest is my favorite character in the series, and he's coming up next. We're talking about did we just switch back to Invincible?
That is Invincible, yes.
Okay,
yes,
all right, cool. Yeah.
Yes,
I really dug the I just dug the series, and I liked the changes that the show made. I thought they were appropriate as far as putting it on screen. But I also liked going through and reading that first compendium. I'm pretty much, like I said, is pretty much caught up, maybe like a little bit ahead here and there because they kind of jump out of order with the show, which is fine. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what continues happening with Omni-Man, with Anissa, with Mark. I'm pumped. But yes, no, I'm with you. So with Fantastic Four, first, like, it's just so, if they include Doctor Doom as like a more than just a hint or a mention, that's so much for one movie. We're talking about the origin and who the fuck the Fantastic Four are. We're talking about Silver Surfer and Galactus and what the fuck they're doing. They got to beat Silver Surfer and Galactus after however they're going to try to figure out how their powers work. There's always like an internal struggle and then an external struggle and then the main big bad. So that we're already talking about like a 5-hour saga of a movie if we're including all of that how it's supposed to be, which they're
Mhm.
going to cut down and chop into like a condensed and shortened version. And then we're introducing Victor Von Doom,
Yep.
and having to do him justice in this movie as well. There's too much.
He has to, because honestly, it would make however they survive this, it would make sense for Victor to be the one to help them survive it. Dude, Doctor Doom is so fucking badass, and the stuff this dude has done, it would make so much sense for him and Reed to have to team up to figure out a way how they're going to survive this. The Fantastic Four on their own should not be able to survive this. They shouldn't.
Right.
Doom needs to be there to help them. If you're going to use these guys already, if you're using Galactus and Silver Surfer already, Doom should be there helping them survive this and figure out what to do. And I mean survive it, because God knows if the Fantastic Four fucking beats Galactus, then I can give two shits of whoever the villain is moving forward.
Are we using? Yeah, I mean, like, that's why I was saying it's crazy that Galactus is the number one.
Because he shouldn't even be in it. He really shouldn't be in it. Silver Surfer, if you want to use it, sure. And that can be a lead up to Galactus. But he should not be in this movie outside of literally a freaking cameo at the end of the movie of like, well, the Surfer has failed me. I guess maybe I should start making my way to Earth. That should basically be it. But he should not be in the actual movie as any type of threat. Literally, if he's talking to them, again, like I said, from like the Silver Surfer, whatever happens, he turns good, she turns good, whatever. Whatever happens with that, then cool. Galactus can be like a voice, and like Reed can talk to Galactus, and they can have that conversation, and that can kind of build that respect factor that Reed and Galactus eventually have for each other. But it's going to start off as this could be like, I just talked to Galactus. Now Reed is scared shitless. Like, this dude is going to come to Earth, and we gotta get everybody on the same page, or we're going to die. That's the only way it makes sense for Galactus to be in the movie. As him being an actual thing that they fight, that's a problem.
I agree. I agree that it's problematic overall.
That's why Doom can be perfectly fine in it. If he's not, if Galactus isn't a person to fight, Doom can be in it because you need somebody else other than Silver Surfer.
For sure. Vinyl Dragon says we don't need an origin, just a Cliff Note version. How many movies do you need to explain the same story? The other stuff would just fit just perfectly. I agree. I mean, I liked how they introduced Spider-Man. They didn't really give him necessarily an origin story yet again, but just kind of, relied on the fact that, we know how Spider-Man came around by this point, and kind of put him in. Fantastic Four is a little different. We've had 2 failed movies before the MCU. And, not everyone, I would say not everyone maybe knows their complete story. But I guess, you're right. It could be just a Cliff Notes. It could just be like a jump in, explain why they haven't been around. I think that we had certain things where they got caught in like a time hole or a wormhole or whatever and shot into the future type of thing. We've had that kind of story bounced around. So yeah, no, I'm with that. And I'm with you too, Chris, that, it's just going to be difficult altogether. We know that Galactus has been cast. We don't know to what capacity he's going to be in the movie. We know Silver Surfer has been cast. We don't know the capacity she's going to be in the movie. And now, Victor Von Doom has been teased in multiple now shows on Disney Plus. Moon Knight for sure, where we had the Von Doom Industries boxes. I believe that Hawkeye as well. And so we've gotten little teasers that Doom is around and about. I would love to see Doom come through. But if Juan Carlo is saying that it's someone that we would never predict, it only took us a half hour to get to Doom.
Definitely. If it is Doom, it's like, that was easy. That wasn't really that hard, Meg. Because honestly, it makes so much sense, because Doom would be the only villain that I'll be like, they can easily do a series with him.
Yeah, it would be very easy to do a Doom series, especially like him and Reed coming up together type of thing. And then like, the shit with his face and
Mm-hmm.
You know, all his insecurities and whatnot. We got to catch on some comments here. Cam says it could be the upcoming looming threat with Galactus, and then just Silver Surfer is the main villain and turns good.
So basically, like I was saying.
Correct, right? Vinyl Dragon says the voice of Galactus should be Kevin Hart.
I already have a huge problem. I have a huge problem taking the MCU serious anymore at this point. I would completely be able to say 100%. I would lose the MCU would lose all credibility if Kevin Hart was of Galactus of all things is Kevin Hart. I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna be laughing my ass off if I'm a fucking hero in the MCU now. I can't take this guy serious.
Like, hey man, first of all.
I'm on the way with this. Like, I can't take this serious.
I gotta eat your planet, okay? You're coming up here in my space.
In my space, you go on head moving and everything.
I take your planet being here as disrespect, okay? So now you disrespected me, and now I gotta come back on you.
Yep. Then The Rock got to show up at some point in time so they can have more back.
I was just gonna say, where's The Rock?
You know what? I'm now game. Dragon has convinced me. You have convinced me. I'm now game. Kevin Hart needs to be the voice of Galactus. Or now I can't take Galactus serious unless it's Kevin Hart. Jesus Christ. Now when he's talking, I'm going to translate his voice into Kevin Hart's voice.
It's like the complete opposite from what they cast. They cast a British dude with like the deepest voice that is available. And now it's going to be like this short, high-pitched black voice instead.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. That's really funny. Cam says, and now in the Secret Wars comic, Easter egg in the Deadpool trailer. I'm sorry. We talk about with Doom as far as Doom goes. Yes, so Deadpool did have that Easter egg where like he was laying down in the first trailer. We got that cover of the of Doom in the Secret Wars. We know Secret Wars is on the horizon still as far as a movie for the MCU. So Doom? Question mark. What if Doom is in Deadpool Wolverine?
Yo, something that's so funny, just super quick, with Deadpool, I randomly just thought, and it was before we even came on, I just randomly thought of like a Deadpool moment, like when House of M really kicked off and like the X-Men needed to like figure out what to do, and Deadpool showed up and was like, yo, I want to be an X-Men, and like everybody's just like, you're not technically a mutant. And he's just like, yeah, but I always wanted to be an X-Men. They're just like, you know what? Cyclops was just like, just to shut him up was like, fine. You can be like an honorary member.
Oh, yeah.
And then when everything popped off, like Deadpool actually ended up helping out a lot because he faked like a moment where like some shit popped off and Wolverine and them like beat him up or whatever, and it made them look really good in front of the public for a little while. That was just funny. It just made me think. I randomly just thought of that moment for no reason. And I was just like, that was a good moment. So, yeah, I mean, why not? What if Doom is in Deadpool? That'd be fucking hilarious.
Deadpool's just so corny. It's just really hard
to take him seriously. It's extremely corny.
So, speaking of Deadpool Wolverine, they have set a record. Surprise. Their pre-sales for the first day of an R-rated movie hitting almost $9 million has now set a record for box office pre-sales R-rated movie. So congratulations to Deadpool Wolverine, already hitting $9 million in pre-sales. And the movie is still 2 months away. We have 2 months almost of pre-sale tickets. I think 5 days under 2 months of pre-sale tickets that could still add to that total and make it go up. It's going to go up within the like 2 weeks or so before the movie drops. So for it to already be hitting 9 million is absolutely insane. You can't argue with that. Yeah,
no, can't hate on that. That's
can't hate on it.
Can't hate on it.
Because I mean, what other Marvel movie is pre-selling like that?
Oh my god, bro, like that's insane. But it's also kind of helped out a lot that the other in the grand scheme of things, the other Marvel superhero movies did not do as well as what they want them to do. Obviously, not saying necessarily bomb, but you get the point. They didn't succeed neither. at the fact that they didn't succeed is like, now this is something that everybody's looking forward to, and like this one will succeed. This is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for something to finally sink our teeth into. So that kind of, I feel like that helps out a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I think, yeah, I mean, there's been hype for it. Everyone loved the first two Deadpool movies, especially the first one.
Yeah,
The fact
especially
that
the
Hugh
first one.
Jackman's coming back as Wolverine, he's getting the
Mhm.
suit, he's getting the mask. He's coming. They're cursing at each other. There's, there's a lot of hype with the trailer. So yeah, I can see why people are excited for it, and jumping at the bit to get tickets for this one. I will be seeing it, definitely not in the first week, but probably the second or third.
Right.
Or just on a weekday or something, just not opening weekend. I can't fucking stand going to see a movie on opening weekend. It's just how I am.
Facts.
Um,
It's also funny too, because remember X-Men 97 made a joke at the original X-Men movies. Did you catch that Easter egg?
Which one? What do they do?
So remember when Wolverine and the original X-Men joined, when Hugh Jackman joined the X-Men, and they're sitting in the jet on their way, and then he puts on the black leather, and
Oh,
he
okay.
makes the joke, and he's like, "Yeah, what do you expect? Yellow spandex?"
Yep.
They hit that back. Did you catch that Easter egg?
I did not. I didn't catch it.
97 hit it back when Cyclops is talking to Cable, and
Okay.
he throws him his suit, and Cable's just looking at it, and he's like, "What did you expect? Black leather?"
Yes.
That was
Okay.
a slap back at
I
that
didn't even
joke.
catch that. Okay.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah, that is funny. I like that. Because yeah,
Yes.
man, I haven't watched that first X-Men movie in a while. You know what I actually went back and watched was First Class, which is one of my favorite of the X-Men movies.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
So I watched that one recently.
That's a good
Just because I just finished X-Men 97. I was like, man, I
one.
need some more Magneto. You know what he was a badass in? First Class. So let's just throw that on. But
I
yeah,
watched the second X-Men. I watched X-Men X2. I watched that. That
oh,
was fun.
X2, yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Cam says, I think anticipation only helps too. We were getting so much stuff constantly for the MCU. Actually, giving some space between projects helps. Yes, I agree
Yeah.
100%. And I
Yeah.
think that they actually came out and said they're only doing 3 movies a year going forward, to help build some of that anticipation that you're talking about right there.
Yeah.
And I think 3 movies and either 2 or 3 shows. I can't remember how exactly they said it, but they were definitely dialing back the amount of content that they were pushing out per year moving forward. I think exactly like what you're saying, Cam, to help build that anticipation and get people excited again. It's not shoved down our throats. We're getting an oversaturation, and quantity over quality
Right.
is not what we're shooting for.
Facts. Agreed.
And then Cam says that was such a good line as far as the X-Men 97. And then 97 was so good. I agree.
It was.
We were talking about it last week, how
Yes.
great it was that people were speculating on certain books again just because of that show. And I have to add to that, today I met up with some local people from my Instagram sale. So they lived in the city where my antique booth is, and I was like, "Hey, I'll meet y'all just at the antique mall," you know. And they were saying that they just got back into comics because they watched the X-Men 97 show.
Look
And
at
I was
that. I
like,
love hearing that.
me too. Absolutely. I was like, that is fantastic to hear. So we spent like half an hour talking about comic books and what they used to collect and what they're collecting now, and just talking about the show and how that got them back into it. And who would have expected it from X-Men animated, out of all the things that Disney has pushed over the last few years? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For the
I'll
X-Men
bet you.
animated series, that I was like, oh, it's just going to be like a kid, whatever.
Yep.
For this to
Right.
have such an impact and a movement
Mm-hmm.
is just incredible.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Yes, Vinyl Dragon, the First Class with Kevin Bacon. Yes. It's funny that they didn't actually make a joke about that in that Guardian special. You remember when they were like going to get Kevin Bacon?
Yeah. That would have been funny. I guess
It
it
would have
was
been
like
an
we
excellent
gotta be.
opportunity
Yeah.
to make a joke about that.
If it
All
was a
right.
Deadpool special, he would have.
Oh, 100% he would have. For sure. For sure.
Mhm.
All right, we have some unfortunate news. about Blade.
I knew it. I was waiting for this one. This is the one I was waiting for. Going ahead, Dino.
We have another
Mm-hmm.
Blade movie writer. I think we're on
Mm-hmm.
number like 7, 8 question mark.
Yeah.
And that just is not great.
There's also a rumor that old boy's gonna step down as Blade.
That he's just done with the project altogether.
That he's done with the project altogether.
So there are rumors that it's his fault, in quotations, I should say, that there have been so many writer changes that he is just like very stubborn or like not agreeable to the scripts that are being produced.
These scripts is not
I was gonna say, but maybe Disney's trying to push some bullshit, and these script writers are like, okay, I can't deal with being attached to such a terrible project, and also the main star that you've attached to this project so far is also not on board, and it's just like a three-way battle of shenanigans and bullshit. Which yeah, I wouldn't want to be caught in that either, to be honest with you. So yes, yet another writer has been attached to Blade. Not good. We're not.
Let's keep in mind too, dude. It is not good at all. Let's keep in mind, bro. This dude was 45 when he got casted. He's 50 now. It's been 5 years. 5 years. You would have think my man would have showed up in multiple movies by now. No, he hasn't even done his own movie yet. It's been 5 years.
The announcement. I was at Atlanta Comic-Con with Justin and D, and we had just done our auction. We had just finished up our auctions for that weekend.
Right.
We're talking about 2019, the summer of 2019.
Yeah.
And then Justin had just bought a Tomb of Dracula 10 for like the cheap, and he which is the first appearance of Blade, and he put it up in that auction, and I remember it distinctly because I turned to him and I was like, you should probably just hold that book for a couple months, dude. Just hold it for a couple months. And he's like, nah, I need the money now. He puts it up. It sells for a little more than what he got it for, but like not an amazing amount of money or anything like that. And then we ended the stream. We went to sleep. We woke up the next morning. Blade movie announced. And I turned to him and I was like, you stupid motherfucker.
Told you. Should have saved the book.
And he tried to buy it back from the person he sold it to before he even shipped it. He's like, he tried to buy it for more. And the guy was like, nah, give me my book, bro.
That's right. Nah, fam. I saw the same thing you saw, bro. Thanks for the book.
Oh, yeah. But that shit was, that's how I will always remember that movie was announced in 2019, dude. The summer of 2019. It was like August or something like that of 2019. Yeah, it is that old. He absolutely blew it. But yes, it is crazy. And yeah, like you said, he was 45 then. So he was not necessarily young and sprightly. He was already going to have to be relying on stunt actors. And now 50.
Yeah.
And it's no closer to being made now than it was then.
Exactly. That's what makes it even worse. That's what makes it even worse. In 5 years, we're not even closer to the actual product. Like, what? And it's like I said before up here, when you take a role like this, you have to sacrifice so many other roles because you have to be a certain size. You have to do this. You have to do that. And now he sacrificed 5 years of his career because he hasn't really done anything. He's been sitting here waiting to do this. And then I would be beyond frustrated if I was him too. I'm like, bro, you basically stopped my career from doing other things. And I'm sitting here waiting for this god-awful movie at this point. You got these idiots that keep coming in who gives me these terrible scripts. It could be the fact that, like you even said, these idiots are following off of you idiots who are forcing them to give me these bad scripts. This whole thing has been terrible. Yeah. I haven't done anything at all.
Like, aside from trying to stay
what's going on?
In case there's a shirtless Blade scene. He's at least got to keep his arms big.
He got to. Right? I mean,
Yeah,
still,
I mean, maybe Blade doesn't
go.
go shirtless, but he's at least got to keep the arms big.
Now I was gonna say, man, Blade, he got his jacket on, but that jacket always gets tucking off. So he got to make sure, he got to make sure them arms and stuff is looking good. He got to make sure he's big, man. He can't be we can't have Blade walking out here looking all skinny and shit.
Dad bod Blade.
Dad bod Blade. We don't need that either. Got belly all sticking out and everything. And like, who the hell is this? The vampires laughed this dude out the building. Like, come on, man. I'm scared of this guy. I'm scared of this guy. Come on, man. Get this man a Twinkie or something. We ain't worried about
Twinkie.
Good Lord.
Ah, shit. Vinyl says he could still do it. Look at Tom Cruise in his 60s still going. That's true. They got another Mission Impossible every couple of years. And he's still doing all his own stunts. So I guess that's true. It's that Scientology and children blood that he's drinking, though, that's keeping Tom Cruise going. So you got to watch out for that. Yeah, that's
keeping him going. We know Tom Cruise is a part of the Illuminati.
Cam says Wesley Snipes isn't even that much older, to be honest. Who knows? They might break his contract and recast. Yo, if he got replaced by Wesley Snipes, that would be amazing. I can't even lie. That would be so fantastic.
Yeah. As sad as it is, that might actually up my excitement a little bit. Oh, shit. Wesley Snipes is back? Oh, shit. Let's go. Well, there was already rumors that he might be in it anyway.
Hey, he might have a cameo. I was going to say they're already saying he might have a cameo or something. So, yeah, to just be like, you know what? Fuck a cameo. Let's just make Wesley Snipes Blade again.
Yeah, he's Blade again. We got to do something to save this fucking project at this point. We need Wesley. Because we're... Oh, my God. It's getting closer and closer. And, dude, what's so funny about it, I've also talked about that up here, where I kept saying from the get-go, this movie might not even happen.
Yeah.
Every time you heard, it was nothing but bad from the beginning. It was bad. And it just got worse and worse and worse. Delay after delay after delay.
Many delays, many different writers. We heard rumors of scripts where it wasn't even going to be about Blade. It was going to be about Blade's daughter.
Yep.
Then, that went away. And, we don't even know what it's going to be about now. Well, then there was going to be the thing with what's his name? Jon Snow, Kit Harington. He was going to be a part of the movie, too, because he got that big contract. Then they released him out of his contract because Eternals didn't do so well.
Right.
So now we don't have him anymore. The Black Knight character with his blade. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, dude. But I don't think they know what's gonna happen at this point.
Because think about it. And even when you just said that he got released because Eternals didn't do well. Who in their right mind thought that was gonna do well? I'm sorry. Who?
I will still stand by that I enjoyed the movie, that it was visually stunning, but I agree with you that as far as it's fit into the MCU, it just doesn't make any sense. And we haven't referenced the Celestial poking his head out of Earth once since.
No.
It's getting kind of weird at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It is, because for them to reference it now is going to have to be something in the future. Probably getting closer around when they do whatever Secret Wars or whatever they end up, well, not Secret Wars, whatever they do, whatever they truly plan on doing. But it's like, dude, you and maybe 3 other people was like, yeah, this movie was all right. Like, the movie was terrible. It sucked. I'm sorry.
3 people.
I'm sorry, dude. It sucked. So it was like, dude, but even with that, like you said, it doesn't truly fit in the MCU the way it's built. And it's just like, why did you think this was going to be a blockbuster though? Like, I really felt like Marvel was like, oh, this is gonna hit some fucking, this is gonna hit the Avengers numbers. Like, no.
I think what they were going for, honestly, is a very slow build movie, like how they did with Captain America #1. Captain America 1 was very slow. If you go back and watch it now, just like thinking about all the other movies in the Infinity Saga, I'm not talking about the more recent ones, but if you're talking about up to Endgame, and you go back and watch Captain America #1, super fucking slow movie. But the difference between that and Eternals, as far as like world building, character building, slow movie, is that we all know who fucking Captain America is, first of
Bingo.
all. And
Yeah.
also, you only had to develop one character.
Right.
So
Right.
Eternals, we had to develop 10 characters,
Mm-hmm.
kind of explain who they are, what their powers were, and each of them had something different going on. The relationship dynamics between the group itself
Mm-hmm.
and as far as like the outer group and what they were fighting and who they were supposed to be defending. So yeah, it was a lot to deal with as far as that goes. It was just too complicated, and the fact that it was slow paced
Right.
uh just didn't help. It was not, it was a bad combination. So
Mm-hmm.
I could see what they were trying to do, but it just did not hit like they wanted it to.
And I feel you. And everything you said is 100% what it does. But my only issue would be, why did y'all think it was going to be so successful? To the point where it's like, well, this didn't do well. We're going to get rid of old boy. Like, why did y'all think it was going to be so good? Like,
Because
everything
they
you just
lived
explained should have
in
been
a
like the
10
mindset of,
years
yeah, this ain't going to be that good. And like,
because they
or you
lived
kind of say that good, but it's not going to be like this killer blockbuster movie.
they lived in a
Mm-hmm.
10-year span of success.
Okay.
It's just hard for like if you everything that you created for
Turn to
10
gold.
years
Yeah.
was multi-million-dollar profit success, including billion-dollar profit success.
Yep. Multiple billion-dollar movies, like at least 3 I can think of.
Are you gonna even doubt for a second that whatever the fuck you put out next is not going to hit? Like even for an instant, are you gonna be like, oh man, I've got it. Like whatever the fuck I do, it's gonna be good. I could put out a movie about nothing and it's gonna make numbers in the box office. That's the head state that they were in. And then that's when they realized, oh shit, we can't do that.
We can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
Oh.
oh, maybe we can't do that.
Oh, somebody got to take the blame. Oh, Black Knight.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what happened as well. It was a perfect storm of all of that kind of going
Yeah,
on. So yeah,
that's
I'm
fine.
with you.
I
I'm
can
with
agree.
you. All right, I got two more things on my list here.
What we
The
got?
first one being we're going to switch to DC a little bit here, but
Uh-huh.
the Lanterns TV show is officially still moving forward. So James Gunn
Okay.
has confirmed we're still getting a Lantern series, which I am excited about.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I mean everything that they've been talking about with the Lanterns, like I have no reason to sit here and be like, oh, it's not going to be good. What in the
Yeah,
hell?
agree. Because the
I've got
Lanterns is
someone
like the one
commenting.
thing where you can. Oh, what happened?
Sorry, someone was just commenting some spam.
Ah, okay. The lanterns is the one thing where it's like, yeah, it's perfect to have multiple different lanterns and you're telling this story, and it's like, yeah, that works. Yeah. Different
Yeah.
areas, different regions they're in charge of. You can have different stuff. Like that's really dope. Of course,
Oh
you have
yeah.
a main, but still, yeah, that works, and I can agree with that. I'll look forward to that one.
Having it as a series, I think is smart.
Mhm.
Having you could have, like you said, you could have your two main ones because I think they were originally talking about it being like a buddy cop between was it Hal and who was it again? Well, it was I think they were talking about using two lanterns as the main lanterns.
Was it Hal and John, or was it Guy Gardner as one of them?
It was either Guy and John or Hal and John. I can't remember.
Okay.
But yes, then also incorporating them into going back, meeting with all the lanterns,
Mm-hmm.
exactly like you were talking about, having like them explain that each one is guarding a specific, part of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Each
just
have their
getting
regions.
more
Yep.
into that. Yeah, you got plenty of villains that you could use,
Yep.
both domestically and galactically. So I think
Yep.
that they could do a good job with that if they do it correctly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Vinyl made a comment here talking about I think what we were expanding upon, that saying that they are making '90s comics flooding mistakes as far as Marvel or the MCU. That's
Yeah.
true.
Very true.
That's true.
Very true.
Where in the '90s we started getting a series for every fucking buddy. and printing as many #1 issues as you possibly could, and it crashed comic books. I mean, it's true.
Hell, you brought that up before up here too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no, that is exactly. I feel like that is exactly what they're doing, and even on the comic side, where they're trying to print 55 variants of each issue, to it's the same formula for failure, that they're doing here, and so. And we kind of saw the comic market crash a little bit over the last year or so. So, with the failure of the movies and people kind of getting back to their normal stuff and investments going down and the economy being the way it is, it's just it all came together. Comics dropped back to I think a little further past where they were as far as most keys. Your heavy hitters are still wavering, not where they were in 2021 and 2022, but they are still holding a little bit above where they were in like 2019, let's say. But other than that, a lot of the stuff has come down for sure. Yeah, so good comment there, Ruben. Appreciate you. And then the last thing that is on my list here is the X-Men movie. The X-Men movie is finally moving forward. We have a writer for the X-Men movie, Michael Leslie, who has most recently done the Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I still haven't been able to see.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't. I wanted to. They haven't put like any movie that I've wanted to watch in the last year on streaming, and I don't know if that's like on purpose or what. But I feel like all the ones that I've actually wanted to watch are not available anywhere. And then all the ones that I could give less than a fuck about are
just popping right up there.
Being shoved down my throat with every, like, Dune 2. I don't want to watch Dune 2, but every fucking advertisement that I see on TV is Dune 2 is now streaming. I don't give a fuck about Dune. But I really would like to watch The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That shit ain't anywhere.
Bro, go watch some Madam Web. Calm down.
Yeah, exact. Madam Web. That's another one. Netflix, #2 movie on Netflix. Still, dude. Still.
Yeah,
we talked about it last week. It was #2. It's still fucking #2. I'm like, is just nobody watching Netflix movies right now or what?
No.
That's got to be it. That's the only explanation.
Watch.
Yeah, it's got to be the only. Nobody is watching a single Netflix movie except for Madam Web. That's the only reason that it's on #2 right now.
That's it.
This shit don't make sense.
It doesn't. But I did. I don't get any.
But I can't fucking watch that. And the other one I wanted to watch is that Godzilla -1 that everyone's been like raving about, saying it was so good.
Okay, yeah, I've heard people say it's good too. Yeah.
Yeah, that it was like the greatest Godzilla movie ever made. And I was like, I would like to watch that and see for myself if it is in fact the greatest Godzilla movie. And I can't.
I watched some Madam Web.
Yeah. No, I'm not watching it.
No,
I don't care how many times they try to get me to do it. You know how they try to like get you to watch some shit? Like one movie ends and then like another movie's like starting in 10 seconds. And I'm like, I have never
Stop it.
I have never moved from my remote so fast as to stop Madam Web. I'm like, you ain't getting a second from me, bro. That is like, not even how you're doing this shit.
You just instantly wake up before that timer goes out. No, stop it.
From dead asleep to waking up and stopping Madam Web from playing.
It's like we finally got it right when it's like 3, 2, 1, click. No. Fuck off, Madam Web. Then goes back to sleep. Like,
fuck you, Dakota Johnson. You can
kiss
my ass.
Right.
Piece of shit. Oh my god. Even the fucking trailer, when it shows the trailer for it, even that looks like the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. I just can't do it. Like, how is anyone clicking play after that? That's so garbage.
Right. And see, that's why the number said it was too.
I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. It's ridiculous. But anyway, X-Men movie, yay. Yeah. Finally moving forward. They found a writer. That means that the script that they proposed was decent enough in the eyes of the executives, at least. So Who knows
I
what
mean,
that means?
I was gonna say,
But
considering how some of those scripts for Blade was looked at as cool, good to go, and then look how that happens. Who knows what their mindset is anymore? But
yeah, I don't know. But
I
we
don't
will
know.
find out, I guess, because we are moving forward with that. So I don't know. I don't know how. I guess that would put us like 3 years out of an X-Men movie.
I would think so. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, it's still so far away.
It has to
Jeez.
be, right? I mean, if they're just now landing a writer,
Yeah.
let's
Because
assume
you
that they
really,
came,
I
let's
mean,
assume that they came with 75% of a script to get
okay.
the writing job. Okay, so they still have to fine tune, polish up. Now they got to complete all their casting for
Yep. Who's
all the
gonna play
writers.
the big characters?
Yep, and then they got to film, which 6 months at least for initial filming. Okay, so
And
we're at
then
least talking. So we're in at least 2025. Then we're talking about editing. That's another 6 to 8 months.
you got to
Reshoots.
figure out when is the point of when
Yeah,
they actually truly introduce them in to the MCU officially.
So
Like truly
2026 at
not
the earliest, but I'm thinking 2027.
right. Because maybe the Deadpool movie can really have that big hint at the end or whatever, but don't know. Because even
At
this
this
low
point,
different
everyone's saying that everyone's going to be in this Deadpool movie. So at this point, just everyone's in the Deadpool movie.
right, right, right.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I
The
don't
way
know.
these, the way the pre-sales are going, I think people's expectations are going to get a little crazy. I
I
mean,
don't know.
kind of similar to what happened. What's the last movie that happened with, where everyone's expectations went absolutely haywire?
It went really high for Doctor Strange movie
That's
because
right.
Peter was in it, and then like everybody was saying this was gonna happen, Wanda, and then the Illuminati and all that shit. Expectations went insane for that.
Yes. Yes. So that's what we're looking at right now. Is
Yeah.
that these? Yeah, the multiverse of madness. I remember that. Yeah, the
Hmm.
expectations were fucking redonkulous.
Yes.
So yeah, so we're going to get to that point. I feel like in the next month, that everyone's going to be like, oh well, so and so is going to be in this Deadpool movie. Oh, so and so is going to be in the Deadpool movie. Oh, it's definitely going to be this person in the Deadpool movie. It's
Yep.
like, damn, bro, it's Deadpool. Calm down.
Exactly. Calm down.
Did
You
y'all
shouldn't take
did you
any of these
watch the
guys being
last
in.
two?
Exactly. Exactly. Don't take any of them being serious, whether they're in it or not. So yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, we're probably looking at 3 years, 4 years before we actually get anything.
Yeah.
So shoot, man. Yo, for the X-Men show, we're gonna be old as fuck, yo. We're gonna be sitting here in our 50s, the way this rate's going.
50s. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be like 20, 10, 15 years before we get a good X-Men movie, man. Before we even get the X-Men. At least I truly feel it'll be like 15 years or so before we actually get Blade. So I mean, we got a long time to wait.
Yeah, Ali is definitely not going to be in it if it's in 15 years, dude. He's not making it that long. There's no way.
Blade using his cane to beat people up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Old Man Blade, or we get like
Old
an
man Blade.
old man Blade
They're like, wait a
movie.
minute. Ain't you like part vampire? Didn't that mess up your aging and shit? Nah. Not in
He's
the
like,
MCU.
yeah, black don't crack.
Black don't cry. He's not even a vampire anymore. He's just like literally human.
He's like, I'm not
Hunting
even
vampires.
vampire. I'm just black.
I'm just black, bro. You racist?
Oh shit. Now I kind of want that.
Just black Blade. Not even have vampire Blade. No, he's just black. That's all.
Oh my gosh. Vinyl says, I think Secret Invasion had a lot of hype and then was a massive letdown, including killing some big characters. I never finished Secret Invasion. I never finished it. It was so boring to me personally that I
Right.
just could not do it. I watched, I think, maybe 3, maybe 4 episodes, but I think it was only 3. And I was just like, this is just not doing it. I couldn't do it. I definitely think we could have done without that show. I don't think I'm alone
No,
as
yeah.
one of the people who either didn't watch it or didn't finish it. And yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about that one. But I don't really remember there being like a huge amount of hype for that show either,
I
because
don't
this was
either.
at the height of the shows that were terrible.
Right,
So we
right,
were
right,
already, or at least, that other people were like, "Oh, I can't believe that Marvel's doing Miss Marvel.
right,
I can't believe she's Muslim," or
right.
whatever they were complaining about, or like, "I
Stupid
can't
nonsense.
believe, they have culture in this
Right,
kid
right.
show."
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's other
so
people.
so there was like a huge influx of that mentality when Secret Invasion came out as well. So people were just like ready to hate on anything that Marvel was doing anyway. And then
Yeah,
the fact that it was just not one of those shows that could keep your attention, like it, Miss Marvel kept my attention more than fucking Secret Invasion. I'll tell you that right now.
it really was a wasted. They wastedly they didn't use Samuel L. Jackson as a good way. Like he was just wasted
No, no. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again, that the Kree scroll, whatever, there, it's not going to grab an audience. It's just not. Anytime that you do this Kree scroll war bullshit, it's not gonna hit. It didn't hit with the Marvels. It didn't hit with Miss Marvel. It didn't hit with Secret Invasion, and it's because there's just no empathy from the audience going into these characters. Nobody gives a fuck if two alien races are fighting each other and killing each other. I
there.
don't
Right.
care. There's just no. The human race is not in jeopardy. None of like no main characters that we care about are really in jeopardy. It's hard to be like attached to it unless the entire MCU up to this point was about the Kree and the Scrolls, and it's not.
Bingo. And that's
And it's
how they
not.
made it work in the comics. They had to do big time characters. Like even though Elektra's not a giant character, when she was killed, and they was like, "Oh shit, this was Marvel ended up kind of pussying out and saying, no, everybody wasn't killed. They was actually just captured and locked up in some like chip or whatever. It was stupid.
Right.
But when initially looked at as like Elektra just got killed. Oh, wait, that's not her. Then everybody's like looking at each other like, yo, this thing can even go through Spider-Man spider sense. It can even, they're even able to adapt through Wolverine's smell. So they're just like, we truly don't know who you are because they believe they're the hero. They believe they're that person until they're cold, like until they get like basically that trigger that makes them have to turn again. They believe they're that person, and we
Right.
don't know who's who here because you're gonna believe you're Peter, you're gonna believe you're Spider-Man, but you're probably not. Hell, I might believe I'm Captain. I'm not Captain. Like it was, and they built the whole thing up perfectly, and you had all the main heroes involved. This, you got a bunch of side heroes basically and people that's not that important. So it's
Again,
like,
a
how
whole
why would
bunch of
we
new
care?
people introduced,
Yeah, a whole bunch of new people. Yep, yes.
or several that were introduced in Miss Marvel that
Right.
how many people
Exactly.
watched that one?
And no one cares
Uh,
about.
and then yeah, it's between that and the new characters being introduced, and then you're introducing this Kree Scroll War, which was a
Mm-hmm.
major event in comics
Right.
and like a huge thing. But we're talking about back in the late 70s, early 80s.
True.
Uh, and so how many people really understand the backstory of this? They
True.
did not go with the comic version of Secret Invasion at all,
Mm-mm.
including to the point where we talked about on this podcast where the director was like, "Oh yeah, I purposely did not read Secret Invasion."
Yeah. Which we said it then. Like that's the dumbest, like right then and there.
What?
Okay, you set yourself up to fail. What indeed? You set yourself up to fail.
So yeah, with that shows, it's just like, okay, so we have a whole bunch of characters being introduced. I don't care about an alien race dying. I don't care
No,
about the alien race that they're trying to kill.
no.
The only person that we kind of care about is Nick Fury,
Right.
and we know he's not gonna die.
No, we knew you weren't gonna.
Yeah, so it's just like, why do I care about the like nothing significant is gonna happen with this show. You're not
Nope.
gaining any audience empathy. That's just, like that's what it is.
Agreed. Agreed.
That's what it is.
And then it
All
didn't
right,
do well. Big shock.
and it did not do very well. God, anyone could have told you it wasn't going to do well.
Exactly.
All right, I think that's it. Unless you got anything else for us, Chris.
Nah, I think that's it. I think that's it. This was a good one.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging with us live or on the replay. Hit that like button for us. smash it, mash it, hit that subscribe button.
Yes,
Drop a
smash
comment. Again, like I said, we always get back to you either live in the chat or a comment on the video. We appreciate you watching. As always, stay villainous and
fuck the Fantastic Four.
with a big crease